Today on Seattle Refined.
I love working up here. I love the actors and the artists and the crews.
A Northwest filmmaker gets his day in the sun and keeps the spotlight on the Puget Sound. Plus, Refined's workout week climbs to new heights.
Oh, the mountain climbers were.
Yeah, those will get you.
Those will get you every time.
Find out if our guinea pigs thought Ian Fitness was worth the burn. Then, behind the scenes of the Seattle company that helps millions of folks decide what's for dinner. And
what we've really found is that people come for the fantasy of Twilight, but they come back for the fantasy that they found here.
a tiny town cashes in on its big screen past. Why fans of the Twilight saga can't seem to get enough of Forks. Seattle Refined starts now. Hey everybody, welcome to Seattle Refined. I'm Gard Swanson. We are in full-on Oscar excitement mode here at Refined. The nominations are out and the countdown to the Academy Awards is underway. Meantime, some local filmmakers are getting their moment in the spotlight.
What are you gonna do when you find out? I'm gonna kill him.
The revenge thriller Dead West is written, directed, and edited by a Northwest artist. Refined found out how the talented filmmaker managed to turn his dreams into a silver screen reality.
We are at beautiful Daryl's Tavern in Shoreline, Washington. We shot the whole opening scene of the film here, and there's a murder scene out back and everything. So we're right here in the opening scene of Dead West. The film is called Dead West, and it's about a serial killer who's on a murderous cross-country road trip in search of true love. And it's a psychological thriller / revenge movie, and it was all filmed locally here in the greater Seattle area.
Crazy or not, I'm headed east. And I'm gonna kill him.
Honestly, one of the best things about being a filmmaker here in Seattle and the Pacific Northwest in general is you have every kind of landscape you could want. The film is about a serial killer, but there's very little on-screen violence in the film. I didn't want to focus on the killings and the blood and the gore. I feel like there's a lot of films out there that do that already. And with this film, I wanted to really do something different and dive really deep into the psychology of the killer and of all the other characters. Megan's character as well. You know, Megan's character is another lead in the film, and her character and the killer come together in an unlikely way, and they bond. And I wanted to explore that kind of relationship and how love can take these very strange forms sometimes.
I'm a dancer.
Well, what kind of dancer?
Kind of takes her clothes off.
I play Roxy, one of the prospective love interests of our psychopath, and we sort of meet, and we both have a dark past that we don't really talk about, and so we kind of hit it off, and stuff happens.
I'm from here and I love Seattle, but the main reason I stay here and don't move to LA to make films is I love working up here. I love the actors and the artists and the crews and everyone that's up here. People are really excited to dive in and make something and be a part of something creative and special and make a film, and it makes it a joy to make films up here, I find.
Look for Dead West on DVD and on demand starting February 7th. And stay tuned, a sequel is on the way. As we mentioned, the countdown to the Oscars is on. The Academy Awards will be presented later this month right here on Como ABC. The contenders this year are led by the musical La La Land, which landed a record-tying 14 nominations, matching the classics Titanic and All About Eve. Other top nominees are Moonlight, Fences, and Manchester by the Sea. We'll have much more Oscar coverage coming up this month on Refined. And mark your calendars for the ceremony, February 26th. It's going to be must-see TV. The Twilight saga didn't win any Oscars, but it sure was a monster blockbuster, grossing, get this, more than $3.3 billion worldwide. Twilight tells the story of Bella Swan, a moody teen from Forks, Washington, who falls in love with a vampire named Edward Cullen. The hype actually started back in 2005, when Stephanie Meyer released the first of the 4 Twilight novels. The vampire fantasy became a global sensation and landed the tiny town of Forks in a spotlight it's still basking in. Pre-Twilight, you didn't see many people visiting Forks other than fishermen and hunters. But once the books and movies took off, the town was suddenly overwhelmed by tourists.
When the books came out, we had issues with people coming to Forks that wanted to buy Twilight souvenirs, and we're like, we don't have Twilight souvenirs. And so we created businesses. I think there was a business that started up shortly thereafter that sold over $1 million worth of Twilight related items in the first year.
In fact, since Twilight's debut in 2005, more than 500,000 fans have made the journey to the logging town. With so many people headed to the peninsula to experience everything Twilight, the town moved quickly to create the ultimate fan experience.
In the Olympic Peninsula of Northwest Washington State, a small town named Forks exists under a near constant cover of clouds.
Susan Brager and her husband own Forks Miller Tree Inn, known to visitors as the Cullen House, where Edward Cullen and his vampire family live in Twilight.
We decided to put the Cullen's name on our mailbox out front, and then we put a sign by our front door that Esme supposedly wrote to tell people where the family was.
Esme is, of course, the matriarch of the vampire family.
We keep a set of placards with all the character names in each room so our guests can decide whose room they think they're in, and then they can hang that placard on the door.
Staying at the Cullen House is a must for some, with one hardcore Twilight fan from Ohio staying 72 nights and spending $9,000.
What we've really found is that people come for the fantasy of Twilight, but they come back for the fantasy that they found here that they didn't know really existed, and that is the beauty of our area.
Today, more than 10 years after the Twilight phenomenon began,
the fans are, as enthusiastic as ever.
the popularity of Twilight seems like it will literally live eternally for some, whether it be via a tattoo or a custom license plate.
Well, I got this because I'm a huge Twilight fan, and other Twilight fans know what it means, and forever is how long Bella and Edward are going to love each other, so they have forever.
Lissy Andros is the executive director at the Forks Chamber of Commerce. She visited Forks after reading the books and seeing the first movie, and decided to stay.
Once I got here, I was ready to move, and so Forks was kind of on my list of places that I was interested in, but when I got here, I just absolutely fell in love with it.
Falling in love with Forks seems to be a common theme around town.
I have 4 children and my husband. I brought him up here on Father's Day about 2 years ago, almost 3 now, and he fell in love just like we did. He looked at the town, looked at La Push, and fell in love. I mean, we were here 2 months later.
We offer a self-guided tour map here at the Chamber, and there are businesses that do guided tours. And what a fan might see is the Cullen House, City Hall, where Charlie Swan works, and you'll see a police cruiser out front that you can take a picture with. Dr. Cullen's parking spot at the hospital. There's nothing more fun than when somebody walks in and says, "What's with this Twilight thing?" And we get to tell them, our experience with Twilight and what it's meant to the town and stuff. We're huge Twilight fans and moved to Forks because of Twilight. We speak Twilight fluently.
This spring, Forks will be putting some special Twilight props and costumes on display. And every fall, it hosts its annual Forever Twilight in Forks Festival. To learn more about that and so much more, check out our story on our website, SeattleRefined.com. Seattle Refined is just getting started.
I think there's a lot of warmth in the book and a lot of affection, so I think it's going to be a real good one.
Find out why Refined's February book club pick has everyone talking and how you can join the party. But first,
I loved it. Loved it. I loved it more.
our workout week seems to have found a real winner. We'll show you where next.
When the
Welcome back to Seattle Refined. I'm Gard Swanson. Well, Refined's workout week kicks into high gear today with one of the most talked about fitness chains in Seattle. It's a local studio that some people are calling flat out addictive. All week long, our Refined crew has tried some of the most popular fitness boutiques in town. Ones you have heard of, but maybe you were too intimidated. We've sweated it out at Orange Theory and Pure Barre. Now, on day 3, we wanted to see if Ian Fitness lives up to the hype. Seattleites love to keep it local. So maybe that's why so many people love Ian Fitness.
I think back about what my big overarching goal is, that I really want to help, my main goal is to help 25,000 people get in the best shape of their lives. And to be able to do that, I need to have multiple locations.
But if you've never heard of Ian Weinberg, you're not alone. Our refined guinea pigs, Britt and Gina, arrived at the West Seattle studio with not a lot to go on.
I've seen them pop up in my Facebook ads, but that's about it. Other than that, I had no idea. I know 2 people that have come and really enjoyed it and swear by it and think it's awesome. So I'm excited to try it. What can we expect, having really no idea?
Yes, so the workout is designed to help burn fat, burn calories, and have fun in the process. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up different stations. Every station is going to get you moving around as much as possible, and the station is timed. So you'll do the best you can for 30 seconds. You're not competing with anybody else, you're just doing the best that you can do at each individual station. So Jill is going to be the coach today. She's the manager at this location, and you've never met somebody with as much energy.
With an open mind, it was go time for Britt and Gina.
The cardio intervals between the stations kicked my butt. Like jumping jacks and the mountain climbers. Oh, the mountain climbers were. Yeah, those will get you. I'm a big fan, like Orange Theory, of the intervals, but this one was 30 seconds, and I literally do feel like I can do anything for 30 seconds. Yeah, I felt like I knew everybody in the circle, and we were just chatting. I mean, we're all like dying together, but we're just chatting with each other like, this sucks, here's the ball. So it was like, it was nice. It was really, I felt like I knew everybody.
After 45 minutes, Britt and Gina were finished with their workout. And it's safe to say, they liked it.
I loved it. Loved it. I loved it more. Also, I thought the class was half an hour, and I thought it went by so quickly, and then it was actually 45 minutes, and that has never happened to me in a workout before. I would say so much more. The workout was great, but the environment for me was everything. I'm not a class person, despite doing this workout week, and this is the first class that I've ever been to where I didn't mind the fact that I was surrounded by a bunch of other people.
They were awesome. They did a great job. They stuck with it. Their form was good. They had energy. They made it through the class. They smiled.
Yeah.
You
were awesome. Yeah, seriously. You're awesome. Perfect. This is my favorite workout so far that we've done. 100%. I want to sign up. Yeah, I would sign up like right now.
To learn more about Ian Fitness, head to SeattleRefined.com. You can also check out our thoughts on Orange Theory and Pure Barre as well. And tomorrow, we switch gears and work out with Soul Cycle. It's a popular workout that just opened up a studio in Bellevue. Next on Refined, behind the scenes of the Seattle website where you can find the world's greatest lasagna and much, much more. We'll pull back the curtain on Allrecipes.com. Welcome back to Refined. I'm Gard Swanson. Well, when it comes to deciding what's for dinner, 80 million people every month depend on Allrecipes.com. The Seattle-based company boasts more than 3 billion online recipes. So what's the recipe for success? Washington Grown's Christy Goranson has the story for Refined.
Allrecipes was started by a group of University of Washington graduate students who had this notion that the internet, which was very new at the time, could be a great place for people to share their food and cooking ideas. And we've been growing ever since. We've been to the White House, we've been on Good Morning America. They featured our world's best lasagna recipe, which is the most popular, most downloaded, most rated and reviewed recipe that we have. So if we're wondering what lasagna America makes, it's probably John Chandler's world's best lasagna. Yeah, absolutely. This is really where the technology is being created to create that Allrecipes experience. To the home cook, we want it to seem impossibly easy, but behind the scenes, there's a tremendous amount of technology that drives that experience. Probably the toughest time to work here is about 3:30. Because when you're working on the site, you can't not see food images, and so if you're hungry, it can make the afternoon pretty challenging.
Do you know like what people are looking at in the state of Washington as far as like food and stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. We find that local ingredients play into a lot of people's cooking, as well as local culture. So in Seattle, halibut's trending really strongly right now, crab, salmon, asparagus. We're pretty spoiled here in the state of Washington. We have incredible food, incredible ingredients, So there's just, folks get pretty excited about cooking and eating.
Do you have a favorite recipe that you have found off of your website?
My favorite recipe is called award-winning soft chocolate chip cookies, and I'm a pretty horrible baker. And so this is a chocolate chip cookie that uses like Jell-O vanilla pudding mix, and it just makes this really flavorful, chewy, perfect cookie. So it's kind of a no-fail. I'm like, did it? Yeah, so that made me from a zero to a hero. Like, I could actually make a cookie that was worthwhile.
I love it. Allrecipes also posts how-to videos to accompany many of their recipes. Esme and I are off to their studio to see how it's done.
Wow. Video is such a great way to help folks enhance and build on their cooking skills and also find that success, especially creating dishes perhaps that are unfamiliar for them. And so the team here shoots hundreds of videos.
Okay, you want me to take the lid off?
Yeah, totally.
We're shooting a recipe, it's coriander and lemon-crusted salmon with asparagus.
Seems like it would be hard to watch video and have a sharp knife in your hand at the same time. Whoops.
Yeah, you have to audition for the role blindfolded.
How long does it take to create one of these?
Depending on the recipe, usually about an hour, start to finish. And that could be something as simple as a recipe that might really only take you 15 minutes
Sure.
at home.
Make sure to tune in every Wednesday to see more reports from our partners at Washington Grown. It's good stuff. We'll be right back. But first, this Seattle Refined shareable moment.
I make damn good pies, and I'm a snob about my old-fashioned.
I came up with my own recipes. Making pie is a science. You have to weigh everything to be exact. And the biggest thing about making an amazing fruit pie is having what we call pie sugars. And what pie sugars are, it is a ratio between just sugar and flour.
What Pie Bar is and why it's so successful is because of the collaboration of like taking something like ordinary and doing it extraordinary, and then just being really creative.
Welcome back to Refined. Hey, can I get a drum roll, please? Yeah, that sounds a little bit better because it's the big announcement we've waited for all month, the announcement of our Seattle Refined February Book Club selection. Without further ado, here's what everybody will be reading next month.
Well, the February Book Club pick is This Is How It Always Is by Lori Frankel. She's a local author, and this is her third book. She's absolutely wonderful, and I'm so excited that she's written this particular story. It feels very relevant right now.
I love Lori Frankel. I think she's a great part of the community here, and I'm so excited for This Is How It Always Is.
The book focuses on this couple, a man and a woman who have had 4 boys already, and they're trying for a 5th that they hope will be a girl. Turns out to be yet another boy named Claude. When he's 3, Claude says that he wants to grow up to be a girl. And so that sort of starts this whole journey that sometimes is a secret, most of the time is a very loving treatment of a child in this big, boisterous family.
I'm really excited for more trans stories to be coming out. I think that we're in a place now where you're allowed to publish and to write different kinds of trans stories. It's not just like coming out is hard. And she's so warm, and I think there's a lot of warmth in the book and a lot of affection. So I think it's going to be a real good one.
So this book club's a collaboration between the Elliott Bay Book Company and Seattle Refined, and we're hoping the community will get involved. You can email hello@seattlerefined.com and talk on social media using the hashtag #SRBookClub.
A reminder, it's not too late to join our Seattle Refined Book Club. Every month we pick a book and ask you to read along and then throw a big party to discuss it, complete with cocktails and appetizers. Email and tell us what you love about the book and why you'd like to attend. All right, while you get to reading, I'm going to wrap up this edition of Seattle Refined. We'll see you next time right here.